Hey friends, welcome back to the garage today. We are getting ready to get back into Clara. So if this is your first time here, I'm Art.
I'm Dana.
Thanks for joining us. And if you've been a regular follower really along this adventure with pulling Clara apart and getting ready to do the resto mod with her, thanks. And this is going to be no different than some of the other episodes. Today we are going to focus on the motor, taking off the headers, taking off the transmission, just trying to get it ready so we can get it to the machine shop here in the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to jump back to the body of the car and pull off as many pieces as we can that we know will have to come off before it goes to the body shop, whenever we can get it to the body shop. So not a whole lot of dialogue today, but just follow along and enjoy. Huh?
I have to sneeze.
Yes. or you'll just experience some of that kookiness. All right, you ready to get started?
Yeah,
let's get started.
Bolts, or it's just these up top?
Up top, up bottom.
You're out.
Right there, that's what broke off. All right.
Look at all this. Looks like a freaking fossil you find on the ground. An old cannonball.
That one too.
With all that pitting.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, new challenge.
Hmm.
I cannot get. down a little bit more.
Okay. That might help.
Ooh, we got coolant coming out. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pull the.
All right, we feel good enough where the motor and the transmission is now, at least separated. We're gonna go ahead and jump over to the car. I want to take off the front pieces here, disconnect the wiring for the corner markers and the turn signals, so we can go ahead and finish pulling the rest of that wiring harness up to the firewall. So that'll be ready once we move to the interior. All right, corner markers are out. Seem to have one bolt on each one that just would not come off, so I had to assist it with some vice grips. But these are in fantastic condition. All right, moving on to the next part. Oh my gosh.
Gave us some fresh food. Well, I made fresh food available to her.
She'll find her way out eventually.
I hope so. Ooh.
I'd love to be able to keep these, but unfortunately they're pretty scraped up. Each one has a bend in them, so unfortunately I'll have to end up buying a new set of these. I looked at the prices, it was not very good, so that's unfortunate that we're going to have to replace them. All right, we're going to change gears and move to the rear of the vehicle, hopefully with the plan of pulling all the tail lights, the rear bumper, as well as the reverse lights, and get those out of the way today. I got a screwdriver here to take out the reverse lights. These. Catch that. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, these reverse lights right here are a pain in the ass to get out. Really long studs that go through the rear bumper, 10mm nuts on the back of them, and you really only have enough room to be able to get an open-ended wrench on it and just keep going and keep going and keep going and try to get it out of there. And it appears the bulbs, no idea how in the world they get those bulbs in there. It's going to be a chore when we're putting this car back together because it's so far back in there as far as the socket, and it's a twist and turn bulb. It's going to be interesting. And I guess the wiring runs up through the trunk and disconnects there because it does not disconnect at the rear light housing, so a reverse light housing. So we got to figure that out. All right, time to drop the car and get to the tail lights and everything else. While we're getting the last deep well socket, one thing that I wanted to point out, which was really cool, that Kevin from Golden Rule pointed out that we hadn't actually thought about this. Of course, this has a racing fuel cell in it, and then these sheet metal panels in the back, as well as this bar that was all welded in to it, likely was for safety codes or safety rules, because this car was raced at one point in time. That was pretty cool little insight. Didn't really even think about that. Alright, one big housing is out now. And
Here's you have to remove the bumper before that piece.
that is what it looks like. Yeah. Okay. Alright.
Not unless you can magically get the bottom before the top. Boom.
Alright. They'll know. They'll know how you did it.
Sometimes it takes the magic touch.
What? The woman touch? Is that what you're saying? The woman?
Don't you go blame it on my womanly hips now.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Good job, babe. You know, it's always surprising what we find in this car. The more we take apart, we opened up the rear tail light housing. Bulb is in where it's supposed to be, and there was an extra bulb in there just rolling around. No damn clue why. And it's not blown.
Clearly someone went to go replace the bulb, dropped it, and just left it.
Yeah, probably just left it. Oh well. Alright. Let's find more surprises. So, looking down into the fenders up over here, and pull out a spatula. How about that? Wow.
Is that vintage 1970?
It's possible. What a bonus. Yeah.
Want to have a cookout?
Sure. Rust and all. Alright, we're going to get back to try to figure out how to disconnect these reverse lights. So the reverse lights are damn near a two-person job because the wire runs into the wheel well tub underneath, and then it's got this rubber weatherproofing grommet that goes through, and then this is just a connector in the trunk. So I was underneath with a screwdriver kind of digging the gunk away and pulling it free of the metal, while Dana was in the trunk with some pliers kind of squeezing this end a little bit together. Easier to be able to pull out from underneath. Will not go the opposite way. Got to pull it from underneath the car. All right, next part, more body panels. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just some light surface rust. I think this can be reused.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be reused. All right, we're going to go ahead and call it quits for today. We did not complete everything that we really had hoped to be able to do. I'm going to blame it on surprises as we go through, and what appears to be one bolt here, one bolt there to take off.
Hidden screws.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So it's a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle that we're trying to figure out as we take apart. If we get really, really stuck, I've got the manuals for the car that we can actually lean on, but trying to actually figure it out together makes it a little bit more fun than jumping right to the manual. But we'll get back to this week, taking off more parts, and hopefully soon wheeling it off of the lift so we can open up the doors, take the doors off, and get the interior gutted. So thanks again for following us for another episode. Give us a thumbs up. Stay safe out there. Take care. We'll see you next time. That's what you're going to do? Okay.
Am I allowed to sit?
You can sit. That's fine.
I like sitting.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, don't roll yourself out of the picture because you're almost there.